All right, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we are going to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that aired earlier this morning. I was at work, so I watched it while I was on the clock. So yeah, was really good, was a lot of fun, and there is a lot to talk about. So this is probably, just by nature, going to be a little bit of a longer video. My dog is enjoying his new toys in the background, so if you see him run around or if you hear him and stuff, that's what that is. But yes, there is a lot to talk about here. So let's kind of jump right into the Switch itself rather than the games. Let's talk about that. So first and foremost is the C button, right? This got leaked initially at first, and then it got officially revealed when they officially revealed the Switch 2. I think a month or so ago, maybe two. I don't remember when that was. But yes, the C button. So we finally know what it stands for, and it basically just connects or allows like a game chat and stuff for your games. And so the primary example that they show is Mario Kart. So you can access Mario Kart here, and you can have like they show up to 4 people. So I don't know if they confirmed the exact number of how many people you can connect with, but 4 seems pretty standard. Um, it would be nice that it if it went up to more than that, for example, because like Mario Kart, this Mario Kart specifically is supposed to have 24 racers, right? So to only have 4 of them in your party would kind of suck, you know what I mean? Like what if I've got like 10 friends or whatever and we're all playing Mario Kart? um, then can I allow for that? Is that a thing that happens? um, but I could see a lot being done with this in Mario Kart specifically. But again, we'll talk about that later. So yeah, so this is what the game share thing looks like, right? So you can have, it looks like they're doing 4 people on a call. And I don't know. For me, like I know what this looks like. This looks like Discord screen sharing, where one person is streaming here in the middle, and then the other 4 people are underneath them, right, or underneath visibly on the stream. This isn't bad, but it works on Discord because Discord is it's a desktop application or it's on your phone, to the point to where like you can have multiple tabs and stuff open. You can have multiple screens doing different things on the phone. You can just watch the one stream that you want to see or whatever, right? Um, for a gaming console, this is a bit crowded, right? Because like the PlayStation and Xbox don't do this exactly, to my knowledge, at least PlayStation doesn't. Um, your voice chat just runs in the background, right? So like for a third, if not more, of my total screen space being taken just for voice chat, like not even video, not even game sharing, just for voice chat is crazy, right? Like it's cool, but it's also one of those things where it's like this is 10 years too late. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sure that this is cool that this is finally built into the console, but why wouldn't I just use Discord, right? At the same time, like I guess this is for like kids, right? This isn't for teenagers because teenagers have phones or laptops and Discord and stuff, right? This is for kids. This is for your elementary to fifth grader kids who might not have a phone or a desktop and whatever, right? And they just want to connect with Billy that they met at the playground 10 minutes ago, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it's cool, but yeah, the fact that it takes up so much of your screen is kind of crazy. And I don't think they showed us what it looks like on handheld. We know that you can do it on handheld, but I don't think they specifically showed us a shot of what it looked like on handheld. Um, so there's that. It's supposed to have noise reduction and stuff too, but of course, it's Nintendo. They're innovative sometimes, and then other times they're completely behind the curb. And then other times, um, there are even when they do something really innovative, it's cheaply made, right? Is this actually too bright? Maybe. Anyways, it's just cheaply made. So I see this not mattering, right? Like I think this is just cheap. So and then they do screen sharing. Screen sharing makes sense, totally cool. It looks horrible. It is so laggy, right?
Hey,
Good job, good job. There we go, there we go.
you can also share your game screen. Did you see something?
Like that is 12 to 20 frames a second.
Go on top of that dinosaur.
There we
Tops.
You can also share your game screen.
Did you see something
That
that
is
said
so
go on top
bad.
of that dinosaur?
Really? They can do that?
Can do it? You guys are just did it.
Oh, I want to do it too.
That's pretty
shoot.
bad. That's pretty bad. I mean, it's still cool that it's now a thing, but again, 10 years too late. You know what I mean? It's cool. Like, I'm glad it's here, but yeah. Another thing is you can do it while playing different games. That is cool, right? I don't know why we would be doing this, right? Like, but whatever. Maybe if we were like doing different GBA game, like the fact that you can do Virtual Console in addition to a game share screen chat thing is cool. That I could see how that matters for Virtual Console, but for other games like like Smash Bros. Like why would I do this for Smash Bros. Right? If I'm playing against the people that I'm screen sharing with, like I can sort of get it for Mario Kart. But like Animal Crossing, maybe Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I don't even think Kirby is multiplayer online. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it has multiplayer ability. Whatever. So, what else is here?
On the right Joy-Con 2 controller, there's an additional button.
Okay, then there's the camera, which I guess has like an auto background remover thing, which I mean you have to do.
Hey, what's up? Hello. Yo.
So that's fine. Like that's cool. I don't know who's gonna buy this, right? But okay. The other thing is the mic is on top of the Switch 2, which is cool and fine. But does the camera have a mic?
Look forward to games which use your
And the other thing too is like it replaces your face icon for some games. Like they show Mario Party here. Is it okay, no, it's not just Mario Party. They also do the other ones. But see, now I'm curious, why do two of them have the background remove on the camera and the other two are like inside face icons? Can you customize your face cam interface? Because that might be cool, you know? Because if you can customize that, I wonder what else about this menu you can customize, right? Because there is a menu here. So like I wonder if I can make the main display bigger or if I can move this around. I feel like if you could customize it to that extent, they would have just shown it though, right? Like if I can put these 4 streams on like the right side or the left side or something, and then I can like stretch to fill the middle, that would be cool. That might have some use, right? But yeah. I don't think this camera has its own mic. I think it pulls from the mic from the dock itself. So, anyways. DS Download Play makes a return. I just saw my dog run. DS Download Play makes a return. To where basically, here it is.
Required to use to experience. We hope you'll try Nintendo Switch parental mission is
game. You can pass a Joy-Con controller down here. Systems
Game
using
share.
just one game with Game Share. As shown here, even games that require multiple screens can be played if one person owns a compatible game. With Game Share, you can temporarily share compatible games with.
This is great. This is fantastic, right? And it's cross-gen too. It also works for the Switch and the Switch Lite as well. That is really good, right? Because you can do, I mean, you don't have to do it for like Smash Ultimate, but for like Mario Kart, right? It depends on what games this is applicable for. That's the catch, right? It has to be for Mario Kart because it was for Mario Kart DS. I'm actually going to move my camera a little bit because I keep looking at me. There we go. Now I'm like right there with the camera. Whatchamacallit? I mean, like, yeah, it just depends on the games. That's going to make or break this, right? Because, like, Mario Kart DS had this ability. It had this feature with DS Download Play. And that's what this is, and that's fantastic. And you can also do it online. It doesn't just have to be local. That is really cool. That is really cool. Now, I'm not entirely sure. Like, that's a great feature. And that alone, I think, is perfect. But last week, in last week's Direct, they then show us the game loaning system, where you can loan a game as like a virtual game card to someone. that seems obsolete now, right? Because it was already kind of obsolete in the first place. It was fixing a non-issue, right? I don't understand if I can allow you to play Mario Kart from my Switch anywhere, why would I have to loan you the game? Like, I guess if it's a game where it's like, hey, I'm going to be out of town, here it is, enjoy it, like Octopath or something, right? But then it's also like, why not just log into the eShop in the first place? I guess if you don't have Wi-Fi, but again, it's like everyone kind of has Wi-Fi. Like, there's fewer circumstances where you're not going to be able to do the eShop method versus when you can. Like, I guess if I was going out of town and if my friend had a game like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid, whatever, and I'm like, hey, I'm going out of town, I'm not going to have Wi-Fi, can I spot a game off of you for the duration, right? I guess that makes sense. I guess. But again, I mean, like, where are you going that's not going to have Wi-Fi? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too picky about it.
You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time.
With up to 3 other systems. Okay, so that's cool.
Game Share also
looks like that's Mario 3D World.
supports online play with
Bowser's
other
Fury.
Switch 2 systems,
what
and
that
you
is.
can use it with friends via Game Chat, which we showed earlier.
Okay.
Game Share
will be available via software updates. So Odyssey? Oh, Odyssey's not multiplayer. I guess, or do you play as Cappy? I don't know.
Share can only be used with compatible games.
Yeah.
This feature is planned for several titles, starting with a free update for Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics on Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
Game Share support is also planned for select games exclusive to Nintendo Switch
yeah,
2,
like Mario
so we
Kart.
hope you'll look forward to it.
Up next,
Okay, and yeah, here's all the hardware stuff that they show. So it's got a bigger screen, smooth gameplay, up to 120 FPS. It's one of those things where I'll see it where I believe it, right? HDR, which is also something. Bigger S and L or SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Cons themselves. This is big. This is huge. I'm very glad that they did this.
the SL,
The mouse
play with
controls for the
compatible
Joy-Con, that's really interesting. It just kind of depends on how big they are. Because, like, the thing with a mouse, right, is the fact that it's, like, it fits in my hand almost like a cup. A Joy-Con is really narrow, right? So it's like, am I going to be moving my thing like this? You know what I mean? Hi, Tito. This is Tito, guys. Say hi, Tito. Anyways. You have your toy? Let's get your toys. Okay. Whoop. Okay. So it's like, yeah, is my Joy-Con going to be really, really thin? Like, is this how I'm holding my Joy-Con? Like, rubbing up against the... I don't really know how to show this. You know, like, click, 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 click. I guess.
both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support technology
Improved
to
speakers, whatever. The micro USB being on the top of the Switch is amazing because it can charge while in desk mode. Whatever, what do they call that? Not docked. Whatever. Where you can just like put it on a tabletop. On tabletop mode, now you can charge it. That's great. Its innate storage is crazy, right? 32 gigs versus 256. That is a lot. But if the majority of Switch 2 games are just going to, you know, be bigger, then it's like, is that really gonna, you know,
for storing your game
equate?
downloads, save data, and more.
So it looks like they're still keeping Mii's, which I gotta be real, I'm happy about, but I wasn't expecting. They kind of seem to be, I mean, it's so iconic. How do you get rid of Mii's, right? Like, that's just what people associate Nintendo with now in this generation. So, yeah, we didn't get a retail price in this video, but I've seen online that it's supposed to be, at least in USD, $450, right? Which I think is a little steep, right? The Switch was $300, adjusting for inflation in 2025, late 2024, projected 2025 is about $380. Okay, which is fine. So this is supposed to be $450, so it's about it's $70 more expensive, right? So that's not bad. It's not horrible. But just looking at the actual like price on paper, then yeah, it's $150 more. The other side of this is that like your PlayStation 5 and your Xbox One Series X quadruple 358, whatever they're naming it these days, is also I think around like $500. It's half a grand, right? So this is $450. That's pretty close to PlayStation and whatever. And power-wise, this seems somewhat comparable to a weaker PS5. It's definitely better or at PS4's level, probably somewhere around the PS4 Pro range, which is good. And we'll see like some other games and stuff that is playable on PS4 that have made it on here. Yeah. So it's again, this is kind of one of those I'll believe it when I see it kind of things, you know. It's got a fan, which means that it's going to be doing a lot of power, right? That's about it. Then they show this game where it's like a tutorial of the Switch. It shows you every piece of hardware and stuff, which is cool. You have to pay for this, which is odd, right? Like Mi Sports Resort, whatever, like I'm pretty sure that those came packaged with the consoles. I know Wii Sports did. This is such like, or Nintendo Land on the Wii U, right? This is such a non-game. Why am I getting charged for this? Right? And I mean like why would I be getting charged for this? Like what's the goal with this game? Am I doing these quizzes? Because see, there's like a quiz lady over here. So I'm supposed to accumulate the information. I'm supposed to learn and study what the Switch is. And then I go and I talk to the receptionists and I get points, I guess. This game should not, if I do have to pay for this, this game should not be more than $5. It just shouldn't. It shouldn't.
The tiny details you might not notice until they're pointed out.
Here's this.
It's the same shape as Nintendo Switch game cards, but it's now red and it has much faster data reading speeds. Next up is additional storage. Switch 2 will only work with micro SD express cards. They're a different type of SD card and will make high-speed data transfers possible.
Okay, so it's only compatible with a certain kind of micro USB. That I didn't know, so that is good to know.
Please note that regular micro SD cards used for Nintendo Switch will not be compatible.
Yeah.
Additionally, to transfer data from Switch to Switch 2, you can log into your Nintendo account to use the System Transfer feature. With this feature, you can transfer save data, digital games, and more.
Okay. But can I not why can't I keep my save data between both systems? If I play Smash pretty regularly on both consoles, like if I give it to my little brother or something, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm old, and I think things should be simpler. But whatever.
We're also releasing a new Pro Controller.
Pro Controller has the exact same features, except it's got the C button and it's got back buttons too. And an audio jack, which I think actually we already had. Pretty sure you have back buttons. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Okay. So, and then we have these developer article things on the website. So some of this information that I'm talking about may have changed or been more clarified, but in those, but we're not going to go through those. So what else? Oh yeah, it comes out in 2 months. Or really, yeah, in 2 months, in June 5th. It is April 2nd. Comes out in 2 months. And it's going to be bundled with Mario Kart. So that's great. Oh yes, there's 3 kinds of games that are playable on the Switch 2. There are Nintendo Switch 2 games. There are compatible Switch 1 games. And then there are Switch 2 versions of Switch games, if that makes sense. So there are some games that they are going to allow you to upgrade for a surcharge, right? And that will either come with new content or better performance or a handful of other things like that, right? So I don't think we have detail on how much those are, but like one example of them was Tears of the Kingdom and Kirby Forgotten Land, right? So what I imagine is you pay probably somewhere between $10 to $30, depending on the content, right? And then what they're upgrading. And then you get better performance or new content or whatever else on the Switch 2, right? My question is, if I have Tears of the Kingdom on Switch and I do my data transfer to Switch 2, right? Or if I just play it, if I have the physical card and I put the physical Nintendo Switch 1 version of Tears of the Kingdom in my Switch 2, can I upgrade my physical card by, I guess, installing stuff on it like I would DLC or something, right, with like save data? Can I do that and then keep my data, or do I have to play the game over from scratch, right? Like that's kind of, hi Tito, that's kind of what I'm curious about. Hey buddy, where's your toys? Where's your toys? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm curious about. I'm a little hesitant because it's like with the virtual game card thing and the game sharing and loaning thing now. Oh, I threw his toy at him and it bonked him in the head. That was kind of funny. I think he's okay. Yeah, he's fine. So I don't know. Like I guess I appreciate on one level how there's so many different ways to play these games, but at a certain point it just becomes impractical. Which is I think what we're almost seeing, right? Now some of these games are getting like substantial content bonuses, like Mario Kart Jamboree, Mario Party Jamboree, Tears of the Kingdom, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So sure. Now this here, I love this. They kind of shadow dropped this a little bit.
Where you can see each other's actions while playing. Let's continue presenting some more Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. Nintendo also support a smoother, plus you can get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule using Zelda Notes. This new feature can be accessed via the Nintendo Switch app on
Here. The current Nintendo Switch Online app will be renamed to the Nintendo Switch app in late May 2025. So they're just getting rid of the word online, right? Basically, I guess I actually don't know why they're getting rid of the word online. I'm confused as to why they're not getting rid of the word Switch. Because I get it, right? Like brand or whatever. But if you are insistent on doing this whole app thing, right? Like we don't want to install Discord on the console. We don't want to do Spotify. We want them to use our services. We want them to do our game chat. We want them to do our music channels and whatever else. Okay. Sure. But then make them all put together, right? Like why is everything dispersed? This app, it's got pictures and I guess friends, right? That's what that is. Game-specific services. You got Splatoon 3, and you now have Tears of the Kingdom Zelda, right? For this app to have been out for as long as it has been out, to only have like beneficial parts in this app that are compatible with 2 games is wild. I don't know what you would do with other games like Mario Odyssey or Mario Kart or Smash. I don't know what else you could do aside from just voice chat, right? Because like the idea that they've done here for Zelda where you can see the map
guidance activating
with voice navigation and stuff.
Proceed north.
And it knows where you are in the game. You mark it on your phone and it tells you, okay, move north in the game. That's genius. That is fantastic. That is great. And then in Tears of the Kingdom specifically, with the whole creation aspect, you can make
QR
and share
and send them to another
your notes. That's perfect. This is good Nintendo stuff, right? Like, look at this. You can do all this from the app. That's perfect. This is a beautiful step in the right direction on how to use the mobile app, on what they want to do with it. Personally, I think they should just call it the Nintendo Online app, because eventually they're going to move away from the Switch, right? So it's like, instead of having to rebrand later and then make a new app, just keep the app and then just constantly update it with its software and whatever. And then when the time comes to when you have to do an overhaul, either do a massive overhaul, or then, yeah, make a new app for the new console or whatever. That's after the Switch 2, right? But there's not enough yet with this app to want to keep using it. The Zelda thing is phenomenal, though. It is really, really good. I just wish that they would come up with more reasons to use it, right? Like, do the navigation thing for Mario Odyssey and Hunting Moons or something, right? I don't know what else you can do this for. Or do the GTS. Bring back the GTS or the player search system from Pokemon and put it on the Switch app. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. I mean, I know that the Pokemon games already kind of like have those systems built in naturally and natively somehow. And honestly, it should be that way. But like, this would be like what Pokemon Home is. Pokemon Home could be an app in here. It could be. And then you just do an in-app purchase of the subscription. Like, I mean, and I know it's different servers and everything else, but I'm just spitballing. I'm just spitballing. So, yeah, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that's cool. Metroid Prime Beyond is also getting a Switch version. Pokemon Legends ZA is getting a Switch 2 edition. So my question is, like, for Tears of the Kingdom, for Kirby, and for Jamboree, these things seem to be new content, right? But for Metroid Prime Beyond and for Legends ZA, which are two new games coming out, they're probably not going to do DLC for them. I mean, I don't know, because they're not giving DLC to Breath of the Wild. You know what I mean? So is this just going to be a better performing Metroid Prime Beyond and a better performing Pokemon Legends ZA? Like, is this the difference? Is this the same thing as buying Breath of the Wild for the Wii U and buying Breath of the Wild for the Switch? Like, is that what I'm seeing here? Except this is backwards compatible. Like, imagine if the Switch 1 could play Switch Breath of the Wild and Wii U Breath of the Wild. But obviously, if you play Wii U Breath of the Wild on a Switch, it'll perform worse, right? Like, is that what this is equatable to? Or I guess Twilight Princess might be another good option, because Twilight Princess, I'm pretty sure, was both on GameCube and Wii. And the Wii could play technically both, right? And maybe I'm wrong. Because here's my thing. Both of these games are coming out on the Switch. So, as a consumer, why would I want to buy these games on the Switch too? Especially if they're going to be more expensive, or if I'm not going to be able to carry save data over, right? I guess I'm just confused. I don't think this is inherently bad, but I guess I'm just confused. This drag and drive thing looks hilarious. This looks pretty fun. I probably won't get this game, but this looks kind of fun. Having to do the motion controls is always horrible, because now not only do you have to do motion controls, but you have to do them on a solid surface. There's got to be a better way to play this game. Like, allow us to do the actual regular controller. I do think it's funny. This right here in a minute, if they show it. Will they? Did I miss it? I may have missed it. Yeah. Okay, so that's dribbling. Oh, yeah, here. I thought this was funny. Pass the ball! Pass the ball! I could just imagine that on game chat. That'd be so funny to me. Anyways. Here, Tito. Give me your toy.
On to a new.
Okay.
Next.
What else is here? A bunch of third-party stuff. So Elden Ring, Split Fiction, Civ 7, Street Fighter 6, Daemon X Machina, Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, a bunch of third-party ports, which is nice. Then here we got a new 007. I actually didn't see this. I did not see that. That's cool. Bravely Default.
Spy is coming to Nintendo.
Is this a new Bravely Default?
More HD remaster.
Flying Fairy?
Of light.
I don't know what Flying Fairy is. I guess it's just an HD remaster of the first one. But that looks really good. Yakuza is playable. Oh yeah, a new Hyrule Warriors. That's really good. I really enjoy Hyrule Warriors as a franchise. I really like it.
Online on Switch
NSO.
2.
Okay, well hold on.
And now, some news about Nintendo Switch Online.
Did he specify?
You can continue to enjoy Nintendo Switch Online on Switch 2.
Can it be the same subscription though?
And with Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, you can enjoy a new membership benefit exclusively on Switch 2. Please take a look at this.
Okay. I think it still might be the same account. Maybe. Yeah, GameCube's great. Wind Waker, finally.
2001.
Finally.
Looks like a cartoon.
I don't know why they just didn't port some of these games to the Switch. Like Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. I don't know why they didn't port them to the Switch. Or even that, because now there's no reason to port it to the Switch too, right? Because you have it on the GameCube thing now.
Link set.
Are they doing Sunshine? Soul Calibur 2 is really funny.
Over 2
F-Zero GX is
Safari
great.
mode in games and higher res for each type.
Okay, so here are the games.
More titles will be.
Okay, they are doing Sunshine. That is impressive. I didn't think they would do Sunshine. Path of Radiance, Pokemon, XD Gale of Darkness. That's really interesting because I think this is our first Pokemon game with the main formula of catching and everything, right? Like, I don't think XD doesn't follow the stereotypical like gym leader thing from what I remember, but you do catch and whatever, and you can theoretically you can move Pokemon out of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness during the time, and you could put it in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And, of course, you can transfer Pokemon from Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald to Diamond and Pearl, from Diamond and Pearl to Black and White, from Black and White to Transfer, from Transfer to Bank, and from Bank to Home. So the question here is, does the NSO have compatibility with Pokemon Home? Because they've kind of opened the floodgates here with XD Gale of Darkness, especially because of the Pokemon Champions game that's coming out, right? The one that's just a battle simulator. Because here's the thing, if I can somehow, some way connect my online subscription version of XD Gale of Darkness to Pokemon Home, then presumably because I assume what Pokemon Champions is just Battle Revelation or Battle Revolution. Because in Battle Revolution, you can transfer Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl to Battle Revolution, right? You make a copy of the Pokemon. I assume you can do the same thing in Champions. I don't think Champions takes Pokemon from Home. I think it just makes a copy of them, right? So, I mean, and that would be a lot of fun competitively to bring back like Dark Lugia or Shadow Lugia. That'd be cool. Mario Strikers is cool.
In the future.
I mean, because we already have the new Mario Strikers. Luigi's Mansion, Chibi Robo, Pokemon Coliseum 2. Oh, well, Coliseum is just Champions actually.
Nintendo
that may not
GameCube
actually have as much
Nintendo Class
significance
expansion
as I thought it
and
would.
released.
Oh yeah, because Stadium's out on NSO. Yeah, okay, that's kind of irrelevant. Yeah. They're also doing an official wireless GameCube controller that also has the Connect button, and it charges by micro USB-C. Great.
chat for Nintendo 2 than before.
It's probably going to be like $90, just a heads up.
Nintendo Switch.
Okay, so yeah, all of the other ones are also going to be online. Have we always had Sega Genesis? That seems new.
2.
Maybe I'm just behind. Okay, yeah, Deltarune 3 and 4, that's great. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. On launch day? Sweet. Okay. Borderlands 4, I don't care. Civ 7, okay. 2K stuff. Dude, when the stream broke on this game, horrible. That's so sad. So sad. Yeah. Enter the Gungeon 2. That's a lot of fun. The fact that it's 3D is insane. Like, these particle effects might make it really difficult. Because the simplicity of the original game made it a lot of fun. No idea what this is. I'll be honest, this is the first time I'm seeing this because the stream froze before. Star Seeker. Okay. Cyberpunk 2027. 2077. Same thing. Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to Switch. Not Rebirth. Rebirth might come out later, but Rebirth was a PS5 exclusive. So the Switch 2 just may not be able to handle Rebirth. Like, it's cool that it's on the Switch 2, because now you can play Final Fantasy Remake on the go. That's cool. But, I mean, again, too little, too late. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's cool, I guess. I can play a PS4 game. You know what I mean? That looks fun. Silk Song, supposed to come out this year. That's kind of crazy. Story of Seasons. Wild Hearts, this kind of looks fun. I have no idea what that is, though. What was that? Oh, Witchbrook. Yeah, we saw that last week. Cosmic Invasion, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Fortnite! Professor Layton. Although this is a different kind of Professor Layton game, I think. Human Fall Flat 2? Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize we were getting a sequel. Okay. The new, not Bloodborne, but it's from the developers of Bloodborne. Duskbloods? Yeah, okay. So that's cool. Kirby Air Riders. This is cool. So I assume that this is probably going to have other playable characters that aren't Kirby, like Meta Knight, Waddle Dee, King Dedede, whatever. I thought for a minute, I was like, oh, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Is Kirby going to join Mario Kart? Are they going to do it? And now we got Air Riders, which is, I mean, this is just as fun. This is just as fun. So, but yeah, so Sakurai is back on the saddle. So there we go. Which means that we'll probably eventually get Smash. Either Smash 6 or Ultimate Remastered, if I had to guess. If they do in either case, actually no, not in either case. If they do remaster Ultimate, I could see them adding more DLC characters and then doing balance patches and stuff again, right? Maybe adding some new modes. I don't know if they do remastered. If they do Smash 6, it's a totally different game. Like, we're going to get character cuts and the whole 9 yards. But at this point, since the Switch is backwards compatible, I don't know. I feel like if they do a Smash Ultimate remaster, I feel like this would have been the place to talk about it, but maybe they do it later. Maybe they do it like into the second year of the Switch 2, right? And then they save the new Smash 6 or whatever, and they do that later in the Switch's console life. Because if you're going to remaster Smash Ultimate, I feel like you do it on the front end of the console's life. If you release a new Smash game, you still want to do it relatively early in the console's lifespan, because then that way you can continue doing DLC and other updates and stuff. So we'll just say at least before the halfway point, probably closer to a fourth of the way in, right? Because it's been 8 years right? We got Smash in 2018, December of 2018, so almost 2 full years into its lifespan. And then the last update was in 2023, I think, right? So it lived for about 5 years. Then the life cycle of the Switch was about 8. So about 3 years without Smash, right, in total. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do a remaster or if we're gonna get a whole new game. We'll see.
We hope you're looking.
But Air Riders is cool. I saw this and I was like, it's either Pikmin or it's Odyssey 2. And then I saw that and I was like, it's Odyssey 2. Because that is the shader, everything. This is Odyssey 2. I could already tell. And I think and when I saw the moon especially, and I think they threw everyone for a loop by doing essentially Donkey Kong Odyssey. I mean, that's what this is. This is Donkey Kong Odyssey. But they're calling it Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is cool. I do think they could have called it Odyssey and made Odyssey like a sub-genre franchise thing, you know what I mean? Because this is very heavily Odyssey. This is the Odyssey team who's making this, no doubt about it, right? So instead of getting Mario Odyssey 2, we're getting a DK version of Mario Odyssey. So this looks good. Okay, yeah, he's still got his toy. So this looks good and this looks fun. And then, of course, when the Switch 2 comes out, it will also be bundled with Mario Kart Worlds, which is World? Yeah, World, which is the new Mario Kart game. So that's all of that. That's everything about the Switch. I've kind of talked here and there about certain parts that confused me and whatever. I'm still a bit confused on like the whole game sharing, game connect screen chat thing, like virtual card sharing. And then I saw this article earlier about how the physical game cards aren't going to have the game data on it, but they're going to have basically an access key, almost like a download disc, that allows you to play the game digitally. So you still have to download the game data, so then the game is native on your Switch, but that data can only be accessed with the key that is the physical card, which is kind of dumb, I think, because then it's like at that point I own the game physically. That's the same thing, right? Except I need to download the game first. That's kind of dumb. Why can't I just play the game natively? I have a Wii over there. The Wii does not have to connect to the internet to download the game. If you're making games that are so big that I can't just pop it in my Switch and play automatically, then I appreciate the fact that you're making the games really good, but then you're just going to have to give me more storage, right? Because I mean, otherwise the death of physical media is here. It's coming, it's inbound, right? And that's crappy, right? Like, I don't think we want to live in an age where we can't have physical media, because like eventually, I mean, servers are going to shut down. We saw that with the Wii U, right? Just anything like that. Like, didn't Google's streaming thing get shut down like 2 years into it existing? Less than 2 years getting into existing? People bought those games to play via streaming. They never bought the games, they bought the ability to stream the games, which is exactly the same problem with the Kingdom Hearts bundle, right? It's like, why would I buy this? Why would I buy this? I don't own the games natively, so then when you pull them from your digital store, I won't be able to play them. So, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm an old man. I'm ranting. Mario Kart Worlds. Let's talk about this. Hi, Tito. Hey, buddy. Let's talk about Mario Kart World. Let me get his toys back, though. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Sit. 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 There you go. All right. Mario Kart World, which is also basically Mario Kart 10 because Tour was 9. Take it or leave it. It just was. Let's go to the very beginning. First of all, I love the new art style. I love the new art style. 24 playable character. Sorry, 24 racers, not playable characters. I want to see who all is here. That looked like Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr., Baby Luigi, Pauline, Luigi, Birdo, Shy Guy, Baby Daisy, Peach, Wario, Toad, Baby Mario, Daisy? Daisy's all the way back there. King Boo, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Baby Rosalina, the little bug enemy from Odyssey, Waluigi, Bowser. Oh, okay, yeah, we can see it back here too. Lakitu or Lakitu, Koopa, King Boo, Bowser, and Mario. Is that a... That could have been a Koopa, actually. I guess we'll see it here. The other thing is they got rid of gliders, and now you transform into a plane, which I think is cool. And you can now go on water. Oh, this stage is inspired by Donkey Kong. That's really cool. And now you can go on water, like in Sonic All-Stars Racing. So this is cool. I mean, this is, I feel like, a natural development from the gliders and everything that we've had since Mario Kart 7. So I think people are just wanting the physics from Wii to come back, because Wii felt very tight. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is really good. I mean, it's got great physics, it's got really good courses and everything like that, but the physics from Wii are just so tight. And then Double Dash is just fun, right? Like it's just made to have fun. It plays like an arcade racing game, and it's co-op. Double Dash is just fun. So I do wonder what the physics are going to be like in this game. If it's still going to be Mario Kart 8, or if it's going to be tighter, like in Wii, or if it's going to be something new. And I wonder if there's a way to also change the XY axis on the plane mode, right? Bowser Jr. Looks like Koopa's back there in one of his outfits. Pauline in another outfit. Looked like there was Dry Bones there as well. And then yeah, you can rail ride, I guess. And like go on the walls. That's sick. I am not kidding you when I say Game of the Year. You can play as the cow from Moo Moo Meadows. Game of the Year. Easy. Easy. Oh, they brought back the big mushrooms. Hammer Bro new item, and then the coin box summons coins. Oh, so they're gonna keep the coin boost thing. Ooh, and you can hold Bullet Bill like that now? That's kind of odd. Does that mean if you get hit, you lose it? This is fun. This is Mario. This is Double Dash level funny. Turned into a burger. He ate a burger. Okay, so so the costume thing. He ate a burger and then transformed his costume. So are these items that give you specific abilities? Like it's not accessories, customization, right? Like I can't buy a costume with in-game currency or something, and then that's all it is. Like these actually do things. There's 4 of them for Peach. So it's like, do these change things? Do these change my items? Or is there a costume associated with what cart you're using? It could be that too. Because this bike here is like a fish, and she's wearing more Japanese attire. This is just like a regular cart. She's wearing like karting clothes. This is also like karting clothes. And then this is like a regular, like 50s nice looking car, and she's wearing a hat, right? So he's wearing a more, yeah, they might. There's Toad. You can play as the snowman. You can play as a snowman. Kamek seems to be an item now, which is great. That's awesome. This looks fantastic. This legitimately looks like a fantastic game.
I'll be one of your Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay.
Mario.
So here's the thing. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if it is
A brand
cart dependent.
new entry in the Mario Kart series
We can play as him,
is launching exclusively
Lakitu, Bowser Jr., or Lakitu.
on the Nintendo Switch 2 system.
Oh, the boombox is here. The only item to block a blue shell.
Welcome to this vast world.
I think people should just get good and speed through blue shells, but whatever.
Kart races are held throughout various regions that span the globe.
Airship Fortress from DS. Oh my god, that was the only course I wanted that was not in the booster course.
Depending
I
on
was very happy with
the
that.
time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change.
Okay. So, courses have different routes to take, I guess. Well, I don't know. He said atmosphere changes. So does that mean, like, if it's raining in real life, like if the Nintendo Switch checks the weather? Like, I don't know. That's my question, I guess. Do the courses change depending on real life weather? Like if you play at nighttime? Or does it change aesthetically, or does it change actually? You know what I mean? Okay, who else is here? The Crab? You can play as the Crab, the Bee. Oh my god. There's Dry Bowser right there. I feel like this is one of those things where it's like, I would have rather have had Nintendo Kart. You know what I mean? Or like, add Geno. Give us some other obscure Mario characters, not these nameless enemies. You know what I mean?
And in this Mario Kart game,
Nabbit is cool. The Penguin.
you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world.
So there doesn't seem to be like an out-of-bounds condition for most of these courses. Okay, so Grand Prix has Mario Bros. Circuit, Crown City, Whistletop Summit, and DK Spaceport. So these are all new. These are all new courses.
The classic Grand Prix race through 4
This one, Desert Hills, Shy Guy Bazaar. So the Flower Cup has retro. Because these are all Wario Stadium. Oh, that looks different. That looks very different. I wonder how much they changed. Airship Fortress. These are all pre-existing courses. So the Flower Cup is going to have retro courses.
courses in a bid for
The Star Cup, DK Pass. DK Pass is on DS. Wario Shipyard is on DS. Sky High Sundae is on Booster Course. Starview Peak, we do have a Rosalina course, but it's called like Rosalina's Ice World or something. So this might be a new course for Galaxy, which is cool because Rosalina's Ice World did not make any sense.
for first place.
Okay, Koopa Troopa Beach. Is that the one? No, that's Peach Beach on GameCube. Faraway Oasis is new. Peach Stadium is new. And Crown City is also new.
But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up.
So when he says
to the next course. But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition.
you'll drive to the next course as part of the competition. So like a seamless transition from one course to another. Like there's no break in between. That's kind of cool. That's really cool. Because that makes it like a world tour race, right?
With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up. Introducing Knockout Tour. Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another.
This is also really cool. Because this one...
There are multiple checkpoints.
There's multiple checkpoints, right? And so that's like top 16 is what that is. So you have to make the top 16 to continue
along the way.
And if you don't, then you're
Can
just
you
out.
make it all the way to the finish line?
And that's first place.
You can also really freely drive around this.
And then free roam just seems to allow you to free roam a course, right? Like this doesn't seem like a... Like there's just no race. There's no timer or anything going on here.
Last world in free roam.
I'm under.
By going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So drive
Sorry.
wherever your heart takes you.
So this is fun,
Friends.
like for camera mode or something. Like, that's cute.
World starts here. Nintendo's Mario Kart World.
Oh, another Direct, April 17th. In 15 days? In 2 weeks? What day is that? That's a Tuesday. 9 a.m. Eastern. Wow. 3 Directs within a month. That's crazy. Whew. Well, I think that just about covers everything. I think I've talked about everything there is to talk about. And this is almost an hour-long video. Honestly, longer than I intended it to be, but here we are. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the Nintendo Switch 2 and some of the games that are coming out, and especially about like all this digital data sharing thing, right? Like the online download play, the game card thing, the key thing. That's going to be convoluted. And then like how upgraded versions of game and stuff works too. So, anyways, guys, this is Jake logging out. Peace.